Recording in progress.
Guys, please check your audio and video settings. Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Yeah, video is having some issue, it seems. Yeah. Security devices, sound, HD webcam, update driver. Yeah, leave it, guys. Video is having some issue, it seems. Okay, now it came. I think driver is having some issue, guys. Once in a while, it is flickering sometimes. Guys, you got the clarity, guys? Okay, let it be. Yeah, I think some issue with the driver, guys. I think it's not with the device also. Fine, let it be. That's not an issue. Audio is okay, na? Now tell me, guys. Spring Boot 2.x. Spring Boot 2.x. Okay, data source auto configuration. Data source auto configuration algorithm is what, guys? Data source auto configuration algorithm is okay. Data source auto configuration algorithm is algorithm or auto configuration priority order is A. First one. It is giving first priority to whom, guys? Come on. First, it will search for Hikari CP. Hikari CP. Next. Next one, Tomcat CP, if I am not wrong. Next, Apache DB CP2. Lastly, what is that? Oracle UCP. Oracle UCP. Okay, guys, this is the priority order. Now I want to break this order. I want to break this order and I want to see it is taking our choice. What is this? It is taking our choice data source as part of auto configuration. I don't want to see this priority order. Don't want to follow this algorithm right now. Okay, guys. To break this priority order, to break this priority order or algorithm, and to make our choice data source class, to make our choice data source class directly participating in auto configuration, then use spring dot data source dot type property in application dot properties file. Which file, guys? Simply in application dot properties file. So come to this what real time DI class, guys. Go to src application dot properties. Application dot properties. Now listen, I'll keep all these things. Data source type, guys. Spring dot data source dot type. Spring dot data source dot type. Come on, guys. Now listen carefully, boss. Data source type. Now I decided to work with Apache DBCP directly, irrespective of the algorithm. I don't want to bother about algorithm. I want to work with Apache DBCP too. No, okay, that's why I keep all the jars. I'll make sure that all jars are available. When all jars are available, what is the basic story, guys? Okay, Oracle UCP is there, Apache DBCP2 is there, even exclusion is commented. Exclusion is also commented. Now tell me, well, technically speaking, now it will work with Hikari CP, right? This application runs by taking Hikari CP data source, guys. No, I don't want to see it is following Hikari CP. I want to see it is taking Apache DBCP2. That means I want to break that algorithm. I want to see my choice class, my choice data source class participating in what? Auto configuration. Cool, guys. Now listen, what is the data source class name for Apache DBCP2? org.apache.commons.dbcp2. Here we are having basic data source. Where is that? Basic data source. I can get its fully qualified class name. Yes, we are getting fully qualified class name. Paste. org.apache.commons.dbcp2.basic data source. Are you getting my point? dbcp2.basic data source. Cool, guys. Now let's have a look on this. So earlier in this setup we have seen it is using what? What is that? Hikari CP. But now you observe in this setup it will not use Hikari CP, it will use Apache DBCP2 because we are breaking the algorithm. Designation count 1. What is enter designation 1? What is that? Clerk. Enter designation 1. What is that? Clerk. What it is using, guys? What it is using, guys? Basic data source. Are you listening? No, I want to break the algorithm. I want to see it is using Oracle UCP. Right now, all jars are available. Are you listening, guys? Right now, all jars are available. Right now, all jars are available, but still, I am interested to use what? UCP, Oracle UCP. So, first of all, you should find out what is the data source class name in UCP, Oracle UCP. UCP.jar, guys. UCP.jar. I need to find out what is the data source class name. Data source, data source. While working with this one, what is the data source class name, guys? Anyone is having idea? Okay. Pool data source or UCP data source? Oh, I think we are having UCP data source. Cool, guys. Copy this. Go to application.properties. Here, write it. Oh, I think I should write fully qualified class name, guys. This is not okay for me. Copy fully qualified class name. Done. Yes. Paste. Oracle.ucp.jdbc. Right click, guys. Run on Spring Boot application. Designation count. What is there, clerk? Designation count. That what is there, clerk? Oh, yo, it is not taking. Why so? Why so? Why so? No, that is not the correct one, guys. Unsupported data source property exception. No, I think it is not unable to find out suitable method URL. I think it is not that, guys. It is pool data source, it seems. Okay, pool data source. There is something called JDBC. Leave it. Go to this place. There is something called pool data source. Where can I see that? Pool data source. Where is the class name, guys? Pool data source. Yeah. Fully qualified class name, guys. I got it. Got it. Yes. Pool data source. Fine. Dot class not required. Only class name is sufficient. Now listen. Right click. Run on. That's an interface. Shura. Spring Boot application. Designation count. Clerk. Yes. Pool data source IMPL. Okay. You can mention. No problem. Pool data source IMPL. This is the original one. You can mention interface name or relevant class name. Not a problem. Not a problem. Relevant class name or interface type means either class or reference type. Anything you can mention. I think you got the clarity. And what is the beauty, Not this. Not this. You can bring a new data source which is not there in the list. You can bring a new data source which is not there in the list, like C3P0, Proxul. Come on. These are not there in the algorithms list, guys. Proxul, Vibur, so many things are there. You can bring them into picture. You can bring them into picture. Are you listening my statement? How? You have to add their jar file and you have to specify data source class name. So that means whatever class name you specify, that will participate in what? Auto configuration by breaking the algorithm. So now let me make sure that I'm interested to work with the C3P0, guys. I'm interested to work with what? C3P0. So first of all, let me add C3P0 jar to project. C3P0, yes, guys. C3P0, which is right. This one or this one? 0.99. Okay, this is right. I'm adding C3P0 jars to the pom.xml. Okay, guys. Say paste. So C3P0 jar is added. Come on. Spring Boot, your question is there, but I'm not going to answer your question because your name is Spring Boot. Dirty fellow. Change, rename and come. Rename and come. C3P0 vendor is M-Change company. Some company is there, M-Change. Okay. Fine, guys. Group ID always contains what? This one. Okay. Spring Boot, login with your original name and put the same question again. com.mchange C3P0. Okay. 0.995. Then added. Okay. Now come here. Related to C3P0. Related to C3P0, there is a jar. Yes. In that jar, v2.c3p0 dot, what is this? Combo pooled data source. Combo pooled data source. Copy fully qualified class name. Go to application.properties. Say paste. Here, what is this? Okay. Okay, guys. Now listen carefully. Spring data source dot type. Spring data source dot type. Paste. Oh, this one, old one only came. So where is that? Fully qualified class name. Copy fully qualified class name. Say paste. Now tell me here. Remove the dot class file. Now someone is asking me. Okay. Now question is, sir, how all these pools are working for MySQL? Array, data sources and connection pools are specific to one database software. No, na. If I write JDBC dot properties for Oracle, they work for Oracle. If I write JDBC properties for what? MySQL, they work for MySQL. Understanding my statement? So are you bothered about this? UCP, Oracle UCP working for MySQL. Are you bothered about this? Oracle UCP is specific to Oracle, common for all databases. Universal connection pool is not specific to Oracle, guys. It can be used with all database softwares. Understanding? Yesterday I proved again, people ask the same dirty question today. Yesterday I have proved that Oracle UCP is a connection pool that can be used to talk with what? MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, in fact, any database software. Are you listening my statement, guys? Spring dot data source dot type combo pooled data source. Yes, guys. Right click. Spring Boot application. Designation count 1. Clerk. Tomorrow, if you create your own connection pool, also you can use. Oh, it's saying that combo pooled data source is not there, not there, unsatisfied. Unsatisfied. bean factory, unsupported data source property, unable to find suitable URL, unable to find suitable URL. How come it says like that? Combo pooled data source, right, boss? This is right. Did I add the jar? Yes, I added jar. com.mchange.v2 dot. Yes. No, I'm giving correct one only, boss. com.mchange dot. com.mchange dot. Okay, 1 minute. Pooled data source is also there. Huh? Okay, we'll take this one. Copy fully qualified class name. Let me try that. Actually, pooled data source, guys. Let me try. Run Spring Boot application. Designation count clerk. This is a bit headache process, no doubt in that. Finding out the class and specifying that. Oh. Why? Many times I have tried this. Unsatisfied data source configuration generic dot class. See, this is generic. Now it is trying to work with the generic one, guys. It is trying to work with the generic one. Okay, failed to instantiate. Specified class is an interface. Specified class is an interface. So that means it is expecting some class name. It is expecting some class name. Are you getting my point? Yes. No. Actually, I have shown to last batch, guys. I can use third-party connection pools also. It's not like that we can use only algorithm connection pools. It allows us to use third-party connection pools. mchange.combo pooled data source. Many times I have used fully qualified class name, guys. Right. Anyhow, we are not worried about package name because we are not typing the package name, guys. Okay. Now listen. Combo pulled data source. Wait. Because I have to give the feeling we are seeing one outside the algorithm data source also. Clerk. It's a clerk. What is saying? What the hell it is saying? Unexpected DS data source configuration bean instantiation failed. Okay, guys. Unable to find method suitable URL. Unable to find method suitable URL. Unsupported data source type property. Why it is behaving like this? So it is trying to work with the generic one. That's fine. EMP service. Let me give my last attempt. See, within the algorithm, whatever I mentioned, it's working fine. Come on. Spring version related jars, C3P0. 1 minute. Let me try C3P0. One more jar is there. C3P0, one more jar is there. 0.9.95. com.mt.c3p0. This is the one thing. Look at the second one. Look at the second one. Central repository. 1 minute. Okay, let me try this, guys. Let me try this one once. It is also there in the central repository. That's good. Let me try with other jar. Pom.xml. Instead of this, let me use this. Group ID C3P0. Artifact is this one, 0.9 something. Oh, okay. It might have given C3P0, guys. Let me search for C3P0. Yes, guys. Right. com.mchange.v2.c3p0.combo pooled data source. Am I right? Yes, guys. Copy fully qualified class name. Right. Data source. That's it, guys. Tell me, this one is perfect. Let's run the client application. Designation count 1. That is clerk. That is clerk. No, it is not picking up, guys. I think they have changed algorithm. They are allowing only within the data algorithm data sources only. Check it out. When it comes to unable to find suitable method URL, it is not at all picking up. It is not at all picking up. Okay. Let me try database once. 1 minute. We will change to. We'll change. Give me 1 minute. Actually, they should allow outside this one also. Right. Auto configuration.java. Designation count 2. One is clerk, other one is manager. No, the same story is happening. Unsupported data source property exception. Unable to find suitable method URL. I think they are not allowing. In old version they used to allow, guys, but now they are not allowing. In old versions they used to allow. In old versions they used to allow, but now they are not allowing, it seems, because I have shown to many batches. No. That's not an issue. That's not an issue now. There, 1 minute. Let me check my last one, whether I'm going right or wrong. Go to pom.xml. Here I will try to use a 2.2 version. 2.2 version. Instead of this, I will go for 2.2. 2.2. Just I will write 2.2. Oh, this is not downloadable. 2.2.1 is also not there. 2.2.1 is also not there, guys. What's the error? 2.3. 2.3. Just give me 1 minute. No, why it is not allowing? Just I will write 2.3. What's the problem with this? Non-resolvable pom.xml snapshot. Oh, fine. I think We need to update them even once. Again, we have to change Java versions also. Actually, 2.2, that's fine. Java version is 8. Java version is 8. Even update. Okay. I think these are changed. It seems Spring Boot starter parent. 1 minute. Spring Boot starter parent. Spring Boot starter parent. Spring Boot starter parent. What are the versions, guys? Listen. Here release word is there. In old versions, what is there? Release word is there. Are you seeing it, guys? 2.2.0 release. What word is there? Release word is there. That's why it is not worried little bit. 2.2.0 release. Okay, guys. Yes, now it's gone. Now that red mark is gone. Fine. Done, boss. What's the problem now? Release word has gone. Control plus shift plus O. Control plus shift plus O. Yes, guys. Okay. Now listen. Pom.xml still red mark. Where is the red mark? Why that red mark? I think red mark gone, it seems. Dependency. Dependency. JDBC 8 is not there. JDBC 8, what's the problem? Okay, I'll take JDBC 6. JDBC 6. It's saying that, what's the problem? Refresh once. No, there's no need problem. I think why is giving error to this one? Okay, we'll work with MySQL. That's not a big issue, boss. Leave it, leave it, leave it. We'll deal with MySQL. That's not a big issue. Clean the project once. I just want to show one. That's it. So observe, look at the jars that are coming, guys. Look at the jars. I'm not saying 2.2. And accordingly, Spring versions also will change. Spring 5.2. When you change Spring Boot version, automatically Spring version also changing. Did you notice that, boss? Right. Okay. C3P0, this one. Okay, boss. C3P0, this one. And in application.property, what is mentioned? Combo pooled data source is mentioned, right? Okay. Now run the application now. Run the application now. Let's see what happens. Designation count. Acha. We commented Oracle related jar. Now, boss, wait a minute. We commented Oracle related jar. Let's comment this. Let's say enable MySQL related stuff. MySQL related stuff. I just want to show that combo pooled data source. Come on. Right, guys. 1. What is the count? What is their clerk? What is their clerk? What is the problem it is saying? What is the problem it is saying? Registry, error creating. Abstract boolean is wrapper. 1 minute. Now I will take, give me 2 minutes time. Give me 2 minutes time. Now we will take the latest jar only. We will take the latest jar of C3P0. C3P0. C3P0 guys. Okay, this is one 0.9.5. Copy this. Say paste. Say this. Say paste. Okay guys, boot project, this one. Run on Spring Boot application. Designation count 1. What is their clerk? What is their clerk? Okay. What is the problem, guys? It is saying the same thing. Java.lang.class, this one. Abstract method error. Abstract method error. Resolved, this one. Okay. Leave it, guys. So as of now, actually, I have shown that, guys. I have shown that. C3P0 old is still not commented. Let me try this. Acha. Let me remove this then. Let me remove this, guys. In application.properties. Let me attempt last one time. Run as a Spring Boot application. Clerk. Yeah, I said at least you believe me now. At least you believe me now. I have shown. That's what I'm trying to say. So now it is taking combo pulled data source or not. Now did you observe? It is taking combo pulled data source or not. What do you say, guys? That means we can break the algorithm and we can take our choice data source type. We can specify our choice data source type. So keep the setup as it is. Keep the setup as it is. Now go to 2.5. Yes. Go to 2.5. Use happily Java 11 version. Use happily Java 11 version. Okay. Fix project setup. Yeah, wait some time, it will come. Wait for some time, it will come, guys. Now listen. Pom.xml 2.5, 2.5.0 now, boss. What is the number? 2.5.0 or just 2.5 we have to write? Yeah, 2.5.0. Done, guys. Even dependencies. Now all 2.5 related stuff has come. Did you notice that, boss? Now you run the application. You run this application. Designation count 1. Clerk. Does it taking combo pulled data source? This time it is not taking combo pulled data source. Earlier it was taking, right? Earlier it was taking. Understanding my statement? C3P0 is not deprecated. Come on. J Ravi, don't come to one conclusion. It is not deprecated. Anywhere it is not shown, it is deprecated. Okay. So what is the final conclusion, guys? We can mention. So listen here. What is the property we have to mention, guys? This is the property. No, I don't highlight this. Copy these, guys. I'm spending some time on one certain thing, means I might have observed that one earlier. Sometimes versions will give a hand, guys. Version to version things will change. You have to observe this. Either this or anything. Now what is this? This is for what purpose, guys? To use Apache DBCP2. This is for what purpose, guys? Oracle UCP. This is to use what, guys? C3P0. Like this, you can work with Vibur and other things, guys. Right. Try with the Spring Boot 2.2 and 2.3. I think I even tested in 2.3 also. Try with less than or equal to 2.2 and 2.3. That's it. Don't try in other versions. Okay. This third party also applicable for array. No connection pool is specific to one database. I want everyone to have this clarity in mind. No data source, no connection pool is specific to one database. It all about the properties what we specify in the application dot properties. If you write JDBC properties for, come on, if we write JDBC properties for Oracle, connection pool will be created for Oracle. MySQL, connection pool will be created for MySQL. Are you understanding my statement, guys? So that's why there's don't need of asking C3P work for Oracle. Okay, Oracle UCP works for MySQL. Don't ask that such kind of dirty questions. It depends upon what JDBC properties we are passing in application dot properties. Are you listening my statement, boss? Okay. We'll throw error. We'll raise error in. We'll raise error in Spring Boot 2.4 and 2.5. 2.5. Spring Boot greater than or equal to 2.4 versions. This is to break the algorithm, guys. See, generally people are happy with Hikari CP, but if they want to break the algorithm, what to do? This is a deep analyzation of the subject, boss. Are you listening? See, 99.99% people will be happy with the Hikari DB data source. No, if they are not interested, then how to bring other data sources? That too by breaking the algorithm, by breaking the data source algorithm. Are you listening my statement? Or you created your own connection pool. How to bring into picture? How to bring that one into picture? At that particular time, you have to think about all this stuff. Okay, guys. Now listen. Okay, guys. Dharmendra Kumar, C3P0, all these are not third party, dirty fellow. All these are not third party. Hikari CP, C3P0, Oracle UCP, these are not third party. These are given by Spring people. What you are listening, man? What you are listening? What the hell you are asking? I'm giving these many names. These are given by Spring people, third party people. Come on, guys. Apache DBC P2, C3P0. I want reply from Dharmendra Kumar. Dirty fellow, after listening entire Ramayana is asking who is Sita. All these are third party only. These are not given by programmer. These are not given by Spring people. Who is party one? Spring. Who is party two? Programmer. Apart from these two people, some other companies have given, right? Are you listening my statement, guys? The above feature is good. This feature is good to work with new JDBC connection pools. New JDBC connection pools given by different third parties or user defined JDBC connection pool. If you sit and create your own connection pool, guys, user defined JDBC connection pool, because they are not part of Okay, because they are not part of basic data source algorithm. Basic data source configuration algorithm. In that situation, yes, definitely it is useful, guys. Suppose Vibur has come, Vibur CP. In the market, there is something called Vibur CP, guys, which came very recently, few years back. Spring Boot is not taking as part of algorithm. Yes, go for it. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Okay. I think one more CP has come nowadays. Brown CP. Brown CP. Yes, that is also very much new, guys. You want to work with that. Yes, you may go for this type property. I'm trying to explain where it is applicable, how it is applicable. But as of now in Spring projects, which are running outside the server, no doubt in that. What is popular, guys? What is popular, guys? Hikari CP is popular, which is default as part of algorithm, right? Okay, guys. Now listen. Anyone studied servlet JSP? To work with server managed JDBC connection pool. To work with server managed JDBC connection pool in Spring Boot project. In Spring Boot application, generally Spring Boot MVC, Spring Boot MVC, Spring Boot REST, Spring Boot REST. Okay. Web applications. Spring Boot MVC, Spring Boot REST kind of Spring Boot web application or distributed application. Yes, which are deployable in the server, guys, which are deployable in the server. So today I will just give the entry, guys. Practicals I will show in Spring MVC classes. What is the entry, boss? What is the entry I should give? All three properties of same type is not good, guys. That's why it is giving error. Control plus shift plus C to comment, control plus shift plus C again to uncomment. It's a toggle key, guys. Now I'm commenting this. Now, if you are working with a server managed connection pool, no need of this stuff also, guys. Why? Server only will take care of JDBC properties, connection pool, everything. You just need to add JNDI name. Everyone remembered? The people who knows what is server managed connection pool can understand this. Server managed JDBC connection pool. What is that? Spring dot data source dot come on. Spring dot data source dot JNDI name. Yeah, what is that? DS JNDI. Yes. Okay, don't break your head much on it because we are going to see practicals of this in web applications. Okay, what is this? Application dot properties. JNDI registry is a registry where useful objects will be placed. You might have studied in servlet JSP classes, recollect. If not studied, you will study in the coming classes. What is this, guys? JNDI name of data source object reference that is placed in JNDI registry. JNDI registry. Okay, guys. That is placed in JNDI registry. Right. This is in server managed. Don't worry, we will discuss more on this one in web applications. I'm just giving only for knowledge sake. You have an object. It is very, very useful object. You want to provide global visibility for that object. Then it will be placed in JNDI registry. Okay, in every JNDI registry, the object that is placed will have a nickname called JNDI name. That JNDI name you have to pass. Then it will start working with what? Server managed JDBC connection. right, guys. Next. Sir, I don't want to see auto configuration. Listen, I want to disable auto configuration on certain class. Then what should I do? I don't want to work with auto configuration. Though starter jar file is added. Then what should I do? Okay, now listen carefully, guys. So now it is pointing to RESTful only. Now I didn't write any this one. I'm commenting the server manager JDBC connection pool also. Come here, go to pom.xml, RESTful related one I'm enabling. RESTful related one I'm enabling. Now setup is ready to work with Hikari CP, right? What do you say, guys? Setup is ready to work with Hikari CP or not? OJDBC 8. OJDBC 8 we will take, guys. Yes, OJDBC 8 we are taking. That's fine. Now listen carefully, boss. Now, if we run the application, our application runs with Hikari CP. What do you say, guys? Fine. It is working with Hikari CP. Maybe clerk spell mistake, that's not an issue. It's working with Hikari CP, which is coming through auto configuration. I am interested to disable auto configuration on data source. Then what you will do, sir? By disabling auto configuration on data source, what you will do? I will create the data source manually by using @bean method. Okay, now you observe how to disable auto configuration, boss. Go to Spring Boot application. There is one parameter called exclude. What is this? Exclude. On which configuration classes you want to disable auto configuration? Those configuration class names you can mention. Those configuration class names you can mention. Here, what is this? Data source auto configuration dot class. Auto config. No, sir, I want to even disable auto configuration on JDBC template. Then you have to mention JDBC template related auto configuration. When it is actually array type. You can mention multiple classes as array elements. What is this? JDBC template auto configuration dot class. Now tell me, guys, though starter jar is there, okay, it will not do auto configuration on data source and JDBC template. Remaining things will come. What? Remaining things. What are remaining things? Drive data source transaction manager, XA data source. Those things will come. But these two things will not participate in auto configuration. What is the proof, sir? Now you run the application, you will get exception. Designation count. Here is my what? Clerk. Here is my clerk. Earlier, same application has executed, but same application now giving error. Saying that array, nothing is injected to data source. Injecting data source object to DS property of DAO class is mandatory, but nothing is injected, guys. Why? We disabled auto configuration or not? Come on, guys. We seriously disabled auto configuration or not? In this situation, why do you that, sir? I'm not happy. I'm not happy so that I want to take my choice data source. Look at the problem in 2.5 version, 2.4 version. It is not allowing you to take C3P0. It is not allowing to take VBUR, which are part of what? Newell, which are latest. But they are not part of basic data source algorithm, right? I'm interested to use them. Then what should I do? Disable auto configuration and you start working with them. You can start working with them. Listen carefully, guys. So then what you will do? Then what you will do? What you will do? Go to this place. Okay, go to this place. I will take one package, config package, com.nt.config. Yes. Here I will take something called persistence config, guys. Persistence config. Done, guys. In this persistence config, come on. @configuration, guys. @configuration, guys. Come on, guys. Now here I will start working with C3P0 because in latest version we are not able to work with the C3P0 by specifying type, right? Then what is the alternate option? So we can think about going for @bean method by disabling auto configuration or not. Okay, guys. Public combo pooled data source. Public combo pooled data source. So now type is working or not, I need not to bother. Now I can work with my choice data source by breaking the algorithm without worrying about algorithm. What do you say, guys? Create a DS. Nice, boss. Here is @bean. If you are interested, you can give bean ID. Optional, guys. Okay. C3P0DS. C3P0DS. Right, boss. Now tell me here. NAME. Combo pooled data source. C3P0DS is equal to. Now tell me. Combo pooled data source of. Now tell me. C3P0DS dot set driver class name. What class name, guys? Set driver class name. Yes, you can hard code this. Or you can collect from properties file also. You can collect from properties file also. Sir, already we are keeping there now. Why are you again hard coding? Try to collect from properties file. Now tell me, recollect your Spring Basics knowledge. All the information that is there in properties file will come and store into one special object called environment object. Everyone remembered? All the file that is there in properties file will come and store into one special object called environment object. Remember that, guys? Okay, first inject that environment object to persistence config. Environment object, yes, env. Here is my @auto void. Yes, by default, entire information of the properties file will come and store into environment object, which is Spring created. Come on, which is Spring created special object. IOC container created special object. Listen, every configuration class is internally Spring Bean, guys. Why, sir? Every configuration class internally contains component. So that means I can do injections on this class also, na boss. Okay, guys. Sabnangi, when C3P0 jar is ready-made jar, if it is the class of that jar, don't you think it's a ready-made class? Dirty fellow. And that too package name also coming. What, guys? What's question, guys? What kind of questions you are asking? I have added C3P0 jar. I collected this class name from jar, and people are asking me, is it built-in class? Am I teaching Spring or Core Java? Please show some maturity, guys. I added jar. From the jar, I gathered class name and I'm creating object. And people are asking me whether it is a predefined class or user-defined class. I think you better sit into Core Java one more time, guys. Okay. Right. Get property. You can mention the key. What is the key, guys? JDBC properties are there in this key or not? Yes. Driver class name is there in this key. Say paste. Okay. Set driver class name. Set driver class name. What's happening? Why it is giving error like this? Oh, it is saying that some exception handling is required. No problem. We don't bother about this throws exception. Now tell me, boss, C3P0 dot set URL, set JDBC URL, env dot get property or get required property also fine. Anything is okay. Yes. Copy this, guys. What is the key, guys? What you have to pass? URL. You have to pass URL here. Done. Set username. What is the method we are having? Set user. Set user. Here is what is the key, guys? Data source dot username. If I am not wrong, what is the key? Username. That's fine, boss. Next, paste. Set password. Set password. Env dot. Here, what is the key password? Return C3P0DS. Return C3P0DS. To confirm whether this is executed or not, I will write some SOP, systrace. Now tell me, I disabled auto configuration on data source and JDBC template. Actually, JDBC template I have taken for knowledge sake to tell that like this, any number of classes you can go for it. Come on. Right. Rajkumar, right now I am not using server managed connection pool. I am coming back to standalone connection pool. That discussion is over. That discussion is over. Are you understanding my point? Yes. Server managed connection pool discussion is over. Now I am coming back to this. Right. Prashant Kumar, any information you keep in application.properties will come and store into environment object automatically. Both user defined, predefined, any key values, boss. It's up to you. Okay, everyone please come back. Everyone please come back. Right now I am not teaching server managed connection pool. I am dealing with a standalone application, standalone connection pool only. I disabled auto configuration on data source. That's why data source will not come through auto configuration. That's the reason I'm trying to create through @bean method. Someone is asking me, you can write this @bean method in configuration class come. Configuration class come client application or not. Come on. Are you understanding? JRavi, you can use @property source if you are interested to work with a user defined file. As long as you are working with application.properties, no need of writing @property source. Stop using your half knowledge and come back. Application.properties is automatically configured property file. There is no need of you configuring explicitly. Please. Application.properties is part of Spring Boot ecosystem. You need not to recognize and specify that file name separately. Convinced or not? You don't want to take separate configuration class, separate this entire setup. You can write this @bean method directly in what? Client come configuration class or main class. But writing in main class looks code very ugly, guys. That's why I'm preferring to write in what? That's the reason I'm preferring to write in what? Separate configuration class. Anyhow, that is taken in a sub package of root package, guys. That is taken in what? Sub package of root package. The configuration class will be automatically recognized. You need not to recognize explicitly. Got it now? Okay. Now, shall I run the application now? Okay. Shall I run the application now, guys? Go to this place, run as Spring Boot application. designation count 1. I'm giving that as a clerk. See guys, this will run the application with what guys? Combo pulled data source, and observe create DS method is executed or not. So many people asked me, can we disable auto configuration? Can we disable auto configuration? Yes, we can disable it. Are you understanding? Okay. Yes. IOC container create environment object automatically as part of startup process only. Okay. Pavan Kumar, at the rate value is to write into bean properties. To write into bean properties, which are member variables. But right now there are no member variables, so we cannot think about using at the rate value. We cannot think about using at the right now. I want to use in a method as argument value. I want to use them in a method at the rate bean method. That to what? Argument value of setter methods. So at the rate value is applicable only on properties, not on method calls. Okay, guys. Now let's see. Can we disable auto configuration on certain Spring Bean? Auto configuration of certain Spring Beans, even though starters are added. Even though starters are added. Can we disable auto configuration of certain Spring Beans even though starters are added? Are you listening my statement, guys? Answer. Yes, we can. Yes, we can do. Yes, we can do by using exclude paramorph. What is this? Exclude paramorph at the rate Spring Boot application annotation. Exclude paramorph at the rate Spring Boot application annotation. Okay, guys. All right. Where is this? Here is this. I'm not writing everything, guys. I'm just writing this. Dot, 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 dot. Okay, guys. Right, boss. Yeah. In the above situation, we can use at the rate bean methods to create mm, your choice classes objects and to make them as spring beans. Okay, either in at the rate configuration class or in at the rate Spring Boot application class. At the rate configuration class or at the rate Spring Boot application class. So now I'm showing persistence config, guys. Now I'm taking persistence config, guys. Put here, done. Bold. Oh, boss. Trying to highlight this. I'm trying to highlight this. Fine. What should I do? IOC container created special objects, special internal object. What object, guys? IOC container created special internal object uh, holding holding the prop holding the messages collected from the holding the messages collected from the what is that application dot properties file, holding the messages collected from the application dot properties file. Are you listening my statement, guys? Come on. Application dot properties file and other user defined properties file, other user defined properties files. Okay, guys. Are you listening my statement, boss? So in this situation, okay, you want application dot properties information also. Here is my application dot properties. Right. Fine. Application dot properties. Here is the story. Data source inputs. Right. YML I'll introduce later. Until I introduce YML, stop thinking about it. Don't show your half knowledge in front of me. Okay, guys. Are you understanding my statement? Okay. Data source inputs, boss. Right. Now listen. When should we use when should we use @bean methods? When should we use @bean methods? When should we use @bean methods? Okay. By disabling auto configuration on certain Spring Beans. On certain Spring Beans. Okay. Answer. If you are not happy with, come on, auto configuration classes, happy with the classes that are participating in auto configuration, come on, and you want to involve our choice class. We want to use our choice class as Spring Bean. We want to use our choice class as Spring Bean. Then go for the above setup, the above @bean methods. Okay. Example scenario 1. What is this, guys? Example scenario 1. Shall we start observing this example scenario, guys? All right. What is example scenario, guys? Example scenario 1. Now listen. In Spring Boot, what is that? In Spring Boot 2.4/2.5. Okay, 2.5 are greater than or equal to. There is no provision to work with. There is no provision to work with other than DS algorithm class, DS algorithm, data source algorithm, connection pools, other than DS algorithm, connection pools related data source classes. Come on, guys. Data source classes by specifying data source class name in Spring dot data source dot type property. Spring dot data source dot type property. Are you listening my statement, guys? Okay. In that situation, disable auto configuration on what is this data source and go for @bean methods. @bean methods in configuration class. I hope everyone convinced with this statement, guys. And go for @bean methods in configuration class. Okay, especially to use C3P0 proxul. Next one is what, guys? C3P0 proxul, Vibur, and etc. connection tools, etc. JDBC connection tool. I hope everyone convinced with me, my dears. I hope everyone convinced with this statement, guys. When should I go for this @bean method by disabling auto configuration on Spring Beans? We got exact situation or not? Super. Okay, now listen. Okay, now I have not disabled auto configuration, guys. I have not disabled auto configuration on data source. Seriously, sir? Yes, I am very seriously. I have not disabled. How can you say that? Okay, listen. Now disabled or not disabled? So now Hikari CP is there. And here we are having @bean methods. Both are there. What will be taken? What will be taken? Come on. Auto configuration is not disabled and @bean method is also there. Priority will be given to what? Speak out, my dears. Priority will be given to what? Who will get the priority? Auto configuration, Hikari CP or @bean method. Are so many times I said user defined things always override predefined things, right? Local always override global, right? User defined things always dominates ready-made things. Now you run this application, guys. You run this application, Spring Boot application. Designation 2. First one is clerk. Second one is manager. This application is running with what, guys? This application is running with which data source? Combo pooled data source. After giving explanation also, some people have written Hikari CP in the chat box. Srikanth, Vikram, I was giving explanation. User defined things always dominates ready-made things. And you are not listening at all. Your brain is blocked. Abdus, Santosh, okay, SK, Saifuddin, please listen, Babu, properly. User defined things overrides what? Ready-made things. So that means @bean method things will override what? Auto configuration ones. Are you understanding my point there? Okay, JRavi, @bean methods will not be called manually. Mr. J. Ravi, please watch backup classes, otherwise stop coming. Don't irritate me like this. How many times I said in the initial classes, @bean method will not be called. What's the problem to watch backup classes, a dirty fellow? Joined late, but does not mean you cannot watch videos. How many times I said to you, please watch all videos and come for next class. Do you call @bean methods manually, guys? He's asking one innocent question. Sir, where exactly you call @bean method? We don't call. @bean methods will be called automatically as part of flow of execution. In the initial application, I have given that flow also, right? Don't show your laziness as a great question. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Fine. Someone is asking me, sir, anyhow, @bean method is dominating auto configuration, na boss? Auto configuration, na boss? Then why should I disable auto configuration? You feel unnecessarily some objects are creating for Ikari CP, and you are not interested in Ikari CP, you are interested in latest UVBOR or what? Some other C3P0 kind of connection pool. So why should I waste memory for Ikari CP data source object? Why should I waste memory for that class loading and object creation? Then you can disable auto configuration. I hope you are understanding my statement. Devash Pandey, if configuration classes, stereotype annotation classes are there under root package where @Spring Boot application is there, they will be recognized automatically. What rule is applicable for stereotype annotation class? Same rule is applicable for same thing. Okay, guys. Now listen. If data source is coming, if data source is coming through auto configuration, and also configured using @bean method, then what data source will be used? What data source object will be used in the execution of the application? What data source will be used in the execution of the application? Are you listening my statement, guys? Come on. Answer. The explicitly configured @bean method based. Auto config. What is that based? Data source will be taken. Right, guys. Right, boss. What is the industry standard? To pick up and use data source, nothing but indirectly JDBC connection pool in Spring Boot application. What application, guys? Spring Boot application. Right. Yes. if the application is standalone application, what application? Standalone application. Then prefer working with auto configuration based Hikari CP. Auto configuration based Hikari CP. Prefer working with auto configuration based Hikari CP given by multiple starters. Multiple starters will give this one through auto configuration, guys. Multiple starters like Spring hyphen, Boot hyphen, Starter hyphen, JDBC. Spring hyphen, Boot hyphen, Data hyphen, JPA. Starter hyphen, Data hyphen, JPA. Starter hyphen, Data hyphen, JPA, and etc. Okay, guys. Now listen. If the application is web application, Spring Boot MVC application or Spring REST application, then prefer working with server managed, underlying server managed JDBC connection pool, like Tomcat managed JDBC connection pool, Wildfly managed JDBC connection pool, managed JDBC connection pool, and etc. and etc. Or use auto configuration based Hikari CP. Your choice. Here also you can use Hikari CP, but you can use server managed also. It's up to you. It's up to you. Sir, why you are preferring Hikari CP here? My simple reason, guys. Simple reason. See, guys, my application is running in Tomcat. I have to create connection pool in Tomcat and I have to use it. My application is running in the Wildfly. I have to create connection pool in Wildfly and I have to use it. That means server to server, I have to change connection pool also, right? But if I use Hikari CP, which is coming through auto configuration, come on. If I use Hikari CP, which is coming through auto configuration, those server changes, this will continue or not? Those server changes, this will continue or not? Come on. So we need not to bother about what server, whether that server support connection pool or not, whether connection pool is created in underlying server or not. Are you bothered, guys? Are you bothered, guys? That's why 50% of industry uses Hikari CP, even in the server, even in the Spring MVC and what Spring Boot REST applications, right? Spring MVC and Spring Boot REST application, Spring Boot MVC application, they still prefer working with Hikari CP only. Another 50% they will think that, Hare, we are using great server, we purchased that server with a lot of money, and compared to Hikari CP, server is providing superb connection pool. Then they will work with the underlying server managed connection pool without using what? Hikari CP connection pool. So 50% of industry preferring with this one, 50% of industry preferring this one. In standalone application, no question, everyone is preferring Hikari CP. No, 99.99% Hikari CP in standalone application. In web application and distributed application, 50% server managed, 50% Hikari CP. Are 1-2 exceptional cases who don't want to work with Hikari CP, guys. Are you understanding my point? Okay. Here in web application, we can use Hikari means in lower environment or in production. Production only. In production also we can use it. No problem to use Hikari CP in production environment. Are you listening my statement? Right. Now listen. Lastly, only in exceptional cases, we go for other than Hikari CP connection pool. Other than Hikari CP connection pool. Hikari CP or server managed JDBC connection pool. Connection pool. Only in exceptional cases. Maybe 1-2%, guys. 1-2% situation only we go for it. Like Vibur CP, C3P0, Apache DBCP2, they are not popular in Spring Boot environment. Nowadays, Hikari CP is very, very popular because of its performance. Okay, guys. We learned depth. At the same time, I have given clarity at the end. Are you listening? Nitesh Maurya, if you are using server managed connection pool, no Hikari CP. If you are using Hikari CP, no server managed connection pool. Right. Hikari CP is a lightweight also. Size wise also lightweight. So I think you got a complete clarity, guys. First we understood algorithm. Then we understood how to work with other than Hikari CP in the algorithm, right? Then we understood how to break the algorithm. While breaking algorithm up to 2.3, 2.2, no tension. We can break the algorithm by using type. And we can mention any data source class of your choice. But from 2.4 onward, they are not entertaining this. Only algorithm classes they are entertaining. Come on. So then what is the solution I have given? The solution I have given is disable auto configuration, go for @bean method. Anyhow, discussion has come. If you enable auto configuration on data source and go for @bean method, which will get higher priority. @bean method will get the higher priority. And lastly, I have given conclusion. When to use what? When to use what? Standalone application, 99.99% Hikari CP. 1-2 exceptional cases by using type or by using @bean method other than Hikari CP. Other than Hikari CP. I'm talking with respect to standalone application. In web application and Spring REST applications. In web applications and Spring REST applications. Are you understanding my point? Yes. So 50% of industry use what? Server managed connection pool. Another 50% will prefer what? Hikari CP. Here also, exceptional cases only people use what? Other than Hikari CP or other than server managed JDBC connection pool. Now you may ask me, sir, lot of my friends, lot of my juniors, lot of my colleagues, lot of my seniors don't know all these things. Then they are surviving. They are surviving because they are using default one. That's the best one in the market. The default one is the best one in the market. That's why they are surviving even though they don't know all these internals. Are you understanding my point? Spring Boot specialty is that only. Default one is the best one. Default bet is the best one. Understanding my point? Web application is deployed in server. That means its connection pool is managed by server only. Okay. Charan K, web application you deployed in the server can also use Hikari CP. What's the problem? Hikari CP setup will go to server and will give. Okay. Yeah, session is over from my side, boss. Prashant Kumar, still association mapping is not started. Once started, I will let you know. Server managed connection pool, how gives additional benefit? Are server managed connection pool will have more global visibility. Na? It can be used in multiple web application, multiple distributed application, and moreover, some extra properties also will be there to clean the connection pool and other things. Govardhan Reddy, sometimes it will give problem, change Eclipse version. Swaroop Pattar, I keep success story means how they apply by showing gap as experience. They will collect from consultancies. Okay, Adam Hussain, in future I will discuss how to interact with multiple databases at a time. In future I will discuss it. Interacting with more than one database software, I will talk in future. Definitely I will talk. Yeah, listen guys. Yeah, tomorrow we are going to spend some time on pom.xml. So I will ask one thing to go through it. Please go through it. Okay, tomorrow, please go through what is Maven inheritance. Maven inheritance. Maven inheritance. Okay, Shaker B, collect git URL from admin. I don't know why you are asking git URL today. Are you in the starting itself? I have given. Okay. Now listen, everyone, please go through what is inheritance in Maven. What is inheritance in Maven? Okay, guys. Santosh, auto configuration also internal uses @bean method to create Hikari CP, guys. To create Hikari CP. Now listen carefully. Shaker B, just now you place it now. Wait for some time, guys. Wait for some time. He will check your identity, whether you are a fake candidate, original candidate. So many things will be there. When you are taking service, you ask it, it's not he's giving, na. He has to answer. He has to check whether you are a genuine guy or not. He has to validate you and he has to go by priority. Okay, guys. Binit Singh, add Oracle JDBC jars, guys. Binit Singh, try to add Oracle related jars. Then problem will be solved. Yeah, one day randomly I will check the mini project, guys. Every day with one or other discussion, I am not checking. Complete and send. Complete and send. Thank you. Again, listen. After discussing pom.xml entries in what Spring Boot project, again for few days, small topics I will take. How to read data from properties file, what is YML, what is configuration properties, how to convert property file to YML file, a number of things we will discuss. Again, we will go to major discussion. Okay. Right, boss. Thank you, guys.